Hey everybody, and welcome to the channel. I'm Kayla.
And I'm Crystal.
And we are the Cruising Chicks. Say that the same way every video. The Cruising Chicks.
You do.
It's a great inflection in my voice, I say. I like it. Like, don't ask.
I won't.
Okay, so today's video, we're just going to touch on cruise directors and why we have felt, at least recently, that cruise directors do make more of a difference in your cruise than we originally thought.
Yes. Many people may not even realize who a cruise director is.
Right.
What they do.
Why there's this person yelling at you on a microphone.
Right.
You're just like, random.
They may not even realize that they exist.
Right. I know we didn't.
We didn't on our first few cruises.
Our first several cruises, we were like, what is going on? Like, who is that person talking into the microphone? Like, why? Is it the same person all the time? We had no idea at all. Now, in saying this, we loved our second cruise director.
Yes.
Once we caught on to what he was, like on like our next cruise, we realized how much we appreciated and loved Bing Bong, or AKA Mark Walker. And he's on Royal Caribbean. He's currently on the Navigator. I was gonna say Mariner because he was on the Mariner forever.
Yeah, I think he's on the Navigator.
So after we got off the Monarch the second time, we get on the Dream and we got no, didn't we? We had no, I think. And I think that was when we realized, oh, that's what that guy was doing.
Right.
We were like, a cruise director. That makes more sense to like why he was always there and talking at us and hosting events.
Yeah, they're basically like the host of the cruise.
Yes, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah. And they have a little squad of people, their little minions almost, that kind of follow them around and help entertain everyone and keep everybody happy. And
because obviously the cruise director can't be at every single event.
No.
So like, you know, bingo will be hosted by a member of the squad, and like one member will be doing like a dance party, and one member will be doing like an activity, trivia. So like, it's, you know, the cruise director isn't the only person who is handling things on the ship, but he is directing where these people are going and what they're doing.
Yeah, so we wanted to touch on some things that can make or break a cruise based on the cruise director.
I think a big one is the energy that they bring to the table. And I think for us, or at least for me personally, I didn't realize how big of a deal that was until we sailed with Cookie.
Yes.
Because Cookie, that man is wild. And in the
crazy
best way possible. He never stops. So then in turn, you never stop. And you were always just wanting to like match his energy. And I think that was the reason we fell in love with the Horizon, was because we had Cookie as our cruise director, and he was just non-stop, and it was great, you know. And then we had Donkey right after that. We loved his energy. And then we just recently had Kindle Fire, and that girl is just pure energy, and with like a different brand of energy for all of them. But like, whereas Cookie is like on a level and you just can't keep up, like just going. The like, his energy is magnetic in that way, whereas like Donkey's more like chill, but like still magnetic, but like, because you just kind of want to see what he's gonna do next. And whereas Kindle, she was just so sweet, but still like high energy. Like, she is still like high energy. But we have found that, like, especially after those three, just how big like of the energy factor brings to the cruise. Because like, we went on the Symphony right after we had Donkey, and I couldn't tell you who if there was even a cruise director on the ship.
I didn't feel like there was one, to be honest.
There was no energy that he brought. And that was, I think, when we like solidified how much cruise directors actually mean to your cruise.
Yeah. And you know, really, we've noticed that Carnival seems to have some of the best cruise directors.
Yes, I would say so.
You know, and like we said, Bing Bong is with Royal Caribbean.
But we love Bing Bong.
And he's amazing. And he's one of their best. He's really the only one that we remember from Royal Caribbean.
And that's been since 2010.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if we still are thinking about Bing Bong since 2010, that kind of tells you, like, the level that he brought to the table.
Yeah.
But, like, I think we could tell you, like, a good bit of our Carnival cruise directors because they are very noticeable. They're very much, like, present. And they're very much, like, in-your-face energy.
Yes.
And I think that is just the vibe that we like.
Absolutely. You know, and the Carnival cruise directors, they have the Fun Squad. That's what they're called. They are the team under them.
Right.
I'm not sure what Royal Caribbean calls theirs, but they have a similar team under them.
Or if they even have like a fun name.
Yeah, and they feed off of their energy as well, and they help pump up the crowd, keep everyone going, and they help just keep everyone happy.
I mean, I still remember people from the Fun Squad when we went on the Dream in 2011.
Yeah.
Like Gumby.
Oh yeah.
I loved him, and I've been trying. If anybody knows where Gumby is, please tell me in the comments because I missed him. That man could do a round off back handspring like no other. On a hot cruise deck with no shoes on during the sexy man contest, okay? Like, I loved this man, and the Fun Squad can be a huge factor in your cruise too. And for the most part, they feed directly off of their cruise director's energy because their cruise director is who's setting the tone. Like, they're setting the tone, the Fun Squad is following up behind them. And you will find that, you know, if you kind of have a bad cruise director, the Fun Squad is kind of meh. But if you have a great cruise director like you have on Carnival 99% of the time, the Fun Squad is phenomenal.
Right. And they work really well together. They're a team. They all work together. They all stay together. Their whole contract typically.
They try to.
Yeah. So they're
or at least close enough.
One big family. So they get along really well. And so you can tell that.
You can. That was very obvious, especially on the Mardi Gras when we went for Christmas, of how like close Kendall was with her Fun Squad.
Yes. And some cruise directors are funny.
Right.
Some, you know, some have a different vibe.
Yes.
You know, like she was saying, some have a lot of energy and are just crazy and you can't keep up with them, and then some are just hilarious and are always joking, and you know, you can't get enough of their jokes.
Yeah.
Like Calvin,
we love, but he's not a cruise director anymore.
Well, he was.
Yeah.
He was at one time. I can imagine him being a cruise director and being jokey.
Now, I will say, when we went on the Pride for the Celebration cruise last March, we had Alexis as our cruise director, and we went into this thinking we were having Frankie again, and we were so excited because when I tell you we love Frankie, like, we love Frankie.
Frankie's a good one.
And we get on, we heard about what, 2 weeks, a week and a half before we left that Frankie had like, there had been an emergency on the ship that Frankie was going to next. They had to take that cruise director off, and Frankie went early. And so we didn't know who we were getting because the cruise director that was coming in to replace Frankie, you know, originally couldn't make it until the cruise after we were coming on. And so we got the member of the Fun Squad who was the next in line to become a cruise director. And so we had Alexis, and you know, the first night was a little sketch, and we were like, oh no, this is gonna be really bad. But when I tell you, by the second day, and this was an 8-day cruise, like by the second day, he had turned it on and was amazing. And we loved Alexis. And then, I mean, like, to the point, like, where we were like, you're so ready, like, you could be a cruise director tomorrow. Like, he did an amazing job to have been thrusted into the situation, and especially in such a big sailing where, you know, it was this birthday celebration for Carnival. It was this huge deal, and he did so well. And, you know, that is because of the training that he got from Frankie.
Right.
And from other cruise directors prior to Frankie. But, you know, he was able to step in and step up because he was prepared from his leaders.
And that's part of what the Fun Squad and the other groups do. They train in these other roles to move up.
Right.
You know, everybody wants to move up.
Right. And I don't know that everyone's, you know, singular goal is to become cruise director. They may want to do things that are behind the scenes. But, you know, for the most part, a lot of them are training to come up as a cruise director. And so it's really nice when we're on a ship and you get to see the cruise director pass over the baton and kind of let them take a chance. We've seen that quite a lot. It's really cool.
Yeah.
But that is our big takeaway on cruise directors, that if you get a good one, you're gonna have the best cruise ever.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that if you get a bad one, or you get one where you don't even notice that they're a cruise director, that you're gonna have a bad cruise. But we have just found that, at least in the past recent years, that we have really, really found that the cruise directors make a bigger impact than we thought.
So in the comments, tell us some of your favorite cruise directors, if you have one.
And it better be Donkey, Cookie, Frankie, and Kendall. Because those are ours. So that's your only option. Just kidding. You can have your own favorites. We want to sail with Lee and the Flying Scotsman, because everyone raves about them. We missed out on Matt Mitchum, so we're still sad about that.
Yes. And I want to sail with Cookie again.
Yes. And I don't know if like Dr. E's ever going to come back, but I want to sail with Dr. E. So those are our peoples.
And I'd love to sail with Bing Bong again.
Me too. I wonder if he still bing bongs everywhere he goes.
Probably.
Bing bong. Okay.
All right.
On that note, we're gonna leave you.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.